Hello, this is Dr. Borgi with our course introduction video for Guidance 2 for the summer of 2026. And I am doing this as a screen recording so I can show you how to access everything that you need to access for the course. It is very important that you watch this video until the end because it covers all of the course procedures for the entire class. I'm going to be reviewing the syllabus and how to turn in assignments. I'll be reviewing common Canvas glitches that you can avoid. I will be going over the best ways to reach me, how to figure out the due dates and turn in your work on time, and what to do if Canvas goes down. I'm also going to review how often you need to check the course announcements in the class and how to access extra credit. For students that watch this all the way to the end of the video and listen carefully, there is an extra credit assignment embedded in this video. It is not at the very end, but it is towards the end. I want to start out by just letting you know that I'm very excited to start the class with you, and I would like you to be successful. There are a lot of assignments in this class. This class will take up about 6 hours a week. So it's a 2-unit course. That means 2 hours of working in Canvas, 2 hours of reading the Canvas materials, and 2 hours of assignments per week. So make sure that you have the time to complete the class. This is an 8-week class. It is completely asynchronous, okay? That means that we have no course meetings. You also need to figure out how to access the class in Canvas. So that's why we're here. We're at my Chafee dashboard. Let me show you how I got here. So this is the Chafee website, and I went to my Chafee login. I logged in. You'll have to use your login credentials. And then I'm going to cruise over here to this side and click on Canvas to access the class. Yours is going to look different. I have a lot more courses than you probably. This is what our course looks like. It's Guidance 2, Section 47074 for summer of 2026. You're going to click on that. It's going to start here at the welcome page. We will have this course introduction video will be placed here when it's ready, but I'm making it right now, so I can't put it up until it's made. You will check announcements here. So every time you log in, I would suggest checking the announcements, but the 2 days that I usually post things are on Sunday and Monday. So I would suggest checking it on Sunday night and also again on Monday night. I usually do all of my posting between the hours of 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. on Monday nights. All of our coursework for this class is due on Monday nights by 11:59 p.m. I post new materials for the next week at 9 p.m. by 9 p.m. on Monday nights. So if you're looking for week 2 materials, it'll be next Monday at 9 p.m. that week 2 will be published. Your homework for week 1 will be due next Monday, which is June 8th. By 11:59 p.m. You must have everything turned in on Canvas by that time. If you're in the middle of uploading something, it will close on you at exactly 11:59 p.m. Canvas time, all right? There is a welcome to the course here. You can click on this, and it will take you to basically some basic instructions about the class, but I'm going to be reviewing all of these things with you today. Okay, I'm going to cruise back over here to show you a little bit more navigation stuff. Checking the announcements, you can go here. Not found, but the announcements are here. So I will link that. So a lot of times, so on day 1, you're going to find this announcement, which is to start strong. You can listen to this very inspirational video, and it just reminds you to check the announcements. And you'll also find the welcome letter for this class, which I haven't quite drafted yet, but it will be the same as last semester's. This is last semester's, with some information about how to navigate Canvas and that sort of thing. I will be emailing this to you guys today with information about this video and how to access it. So you'll receive that announcement. So again, you want to check announcements all the time whenever you log into the class. Why, you might ask? Because this is the only interface in which I can communicate with you in real time during the class about changes to the class. So if I add assignments like extra credit, I'll put that here. If I remove assignments because maybe we have too many things, I may make changes to the class and I will put those changes in announcement form. Okay? I really want to make sure that you do that. So also, going back to this homepage, you can access any of the weeks here. So if you want to access the course introduction module for this class, you'll click here. If you want to access week 1, you'll click here. Should take us to week 1, yes. And so on and so forth. Okay? So the best way to access all the materials in this class is to go here on the left to modules. It will show you all the modules for the class, okay? So you can toggle these little tiny triangles. So you may see your class looking like this when you first start, and you're like, this is not helpful at all, right? Because I can't see anything. So you have to click on this little tiny baby triangle and it'll drop down everything. And as you can see, there's a lot of stuff. So in this module, we have the course intro video, which I will place here when I'm done recording it and uploading it to YouTube. This is the Start Here page that we were just at. And this is going to cover a lot of the material that I'm covering today. So I'm going to go over this now, okay? So you want to make sure that you read instructions in this class carefully because that is how I grade everything. All assignments are graded based on following the instructions. Why, you might ask? Because college requires you to follow specific instructions for every procedure and process. So if you want to see a counselor, you've got to follow the process. If you want to apply for graduation, you need to follow the process. If you want to add classes or drop classes, you need to follow the process. So this course is designed to teach you through experience how to follow instructions, written instructions, video instructions, and other types of instructions carefully and fill out things completely the way that you're supposed to. This will also help with jobs and whatnot later in your life if you're not already working. How to navigate Canvas for this class. So you can watch this video. It will go over how to navigate Canvas, but because you're watching this video, you probably will already know by the time you get here. This is just a nice welcome sign. This is explaining how I grade by following instructions, and you can read this yourself if you'd like. Here are some important instructions that students often miss. These are the Canvas glitches. And one very important thing that you must know before you turn in assignments. So it says here, in Canvas, if you're trying to attach more than one file at once, you have to upload them all at the same time and then upload. If you do not do this, whatever you put in last will bump out anything that you've previously uploaded. Number 10, Canvas times out. So if you walk away for 5 minutes to use the restroom and come back, if you try to refresh the page, you're going to lose your work. So as a strategy, a lot of us use a Word document, a Pages document, or a Google Doc to draft our work. Then we copy and paste our document information into the Canvas text box to turn in the assignment, or we attach the assignment. I strongly recommend that if you use Google Docs, that you download or save the document as a Microsoft Word document if you're going to attach it as a file. This next one is we do not do Google links in this class. So no links to Google Docs, no links to Dropbox or any other cloud services. No cloud links are allowed in this class. If for some reason you miss this and you turn something in using a cloud link or a link to a document, I will give you half credit the first time it happens, and then you will receive 0 credit for any additional assignments that you turn in that way. Why? Because I'm telling you right now not to do it. But here's the real reason. Documents that are attached like that and placed in a cloud can still be edited and worked on after they're turned in. And I have a very firm deadline. So our deadline is firm for assignments because I'm trying to teach you how to be responsible and get your work done on time, which is another skill that you'll need for college, but also for your work life. So I do not accept late work. So if you do not turn in the assignment by the due date, then you will not get credit for that assignment. However, if you miss an assignment, you can use extra credit to make that up. But I do have 20% of the class is extra credit points. So that means you could make up 1 week's worth of work. This is a summer school class. There are only 8 weeks. If you miss more than 1 week, you probably will not pass the class. So if you are going to be gone for 2 weeks, I would suggest dropping the class now and letting somebody else who has the 8 weeks available to take the class. All right, so this is what you should do each week for this class. You should start by checking the syllabus for the readings and assignments. Let me show you where the syllabus is. So I'm going to go ahead and open up a new page over here, just our Canvas, but on another page so I can keep our spot there. But here I'm just going to go to, what was I looking for again? Oh, yes. I'm looking for the syllabus. So the syllabus is actually located, if I go to modules here, it's located at the bottom of this course introduction. And so it's going to look like this. If you want to download the syllabus, you can just click here at the top. And it'll download it here for you, and then you can save it or print it. Okay, we'll go over that in just a minute. I want to go back here to where we were. You're going to check the modules tab and find the appropriate week. And so here we are. What's this one? I'm going to go back to our modules tab. So here's our modules tab, and if we're in week 1, you're going to go down to week 1 and take a look there. This will have all the assignments and information for week 1 for Canvas. I do include an assignment list at the top that just basically shows you what assignments are due from the syllabus for that week, just so you don't have to go back and find your syllabus every single time. You can look here. But I always recommend using the syllabus as your guideline for what's actually due in the class, okay? Next, you're going to check the assignment list like I just showed you, and you're going to do the assigned reading first. So anything that's reading, all the reading in this class is optional, which is sweet. You don't have to do it, but I recommend you do it. The books are optional, meaning you don't have to buy them and read, but I strongly recommend that you do. It'll be a lot easier for you to learn the material and be ready for the final exam. Attend the class sessions each week. This is an asynchronous class, so attending means going to Canvas and accessing the work and completing your work. You're going to watch any movies and explore the online materials for the week. If it's in Canvas for the week, then it is something I want you to check out. Nothing is there that is optional unless it says optional at the top. So I expect you to go through all Canvas assignments. You don't have any book readings that are required, but all of the Canvas materials you are required to read, watch the videos, and interact with the materials, please. You want to turn in your homework on Canvas. All work is turned in on Canvas by Monday at 11:59. So if it's in week 1 in the syllabus, it's due at 11:59 on the following Monday. If you're having technical difficulties, you can email me. Here's my email. Right? So you cannot turn in late work, again. And I mentioned that our class takes 6 hours per week. You should have enough time to get through the class. All right? I would recommend, too, making sure that you're on top of the big projects in this class. We have 2 big projects. We have a time management packet, which is worth 200 points. And we also have a campus resource report project, which is worth 200 points. And you'll be working on one or the other or both of those at all points throughout this class. So it's not just the assignments that are due next Monday, it's these big projects also. All right, so Canvas navigation. I explained this already. And if you need help, here's how to reach me. So the fastest way to reach me is via text. Here's my phone number. Please text me. I do have a day job, and I work from about 7:30 a.m. to 5 to 5:30 p.m. every single day. I can return text messages at my lunch break, which is usually around 12:30 to 1:10. And then I get off of school. I am also a teacher, but I teach elementary school. So we end at 3:10. And so there is a window of opportunity for me to text you back between 3:10 and 3:30 when I get to work on my after work stuff. So wait times for messages. So if you send it to me via Canvas or email, it takes me up to 48 hours to return those. I'm just being honest here. I try to return these within 24 hours, but if it's the weekend, it may be 2 days. So if you need me right away, text me, please. If you give me a phone call and leave me a message, because I never pick up if I don't know the number, and I'm not programming your numbers into my phone, okay? So if you call me, leave me a message, I will return your phone call within 24 hours. But if you text me, I will return your text within a few hours usually. If you text me late at night, I go to bed early usually, so you will not reach me until the next day. All right, so you're going to need a working computer and an internet connection. We have a speed test here to check your connection. If you are struggling to have internet, I do have an option that's about $20 a month. And if you need that, please text me and I will give you that information. All right, so these are some informational, just life hacks for you. So I don't accept late work. You know that already. You may email assignments if Canvas is down. All assignments are due in the following Monday after they appear in the syllabus. Text is the fastest way to reach me. Don't wait until the last minute to do your work. I recommend getting your work done by Friday and turning it in by Friday. So if you run into any problems, you have the weekend to solve those problems with me. Also, students who turn their work in by Friday are going to get extra points. I sometimes offer 2 or 3 extra points per assignment if you turn them in by Friday. And this is just to encourage you to turn them in early. Those points will just be added onto your assignment with no fanfare. Okay, I'll just give you extra points. I strongly recommend that you build regular study time into your schedule. So students that do their homework right away have more time to have fun. And this is summer. You want to have fun, but you also don't want to miss assignments or turn in things late. You'll need to check Canvas each week to get your assignments. And I usually update materials by 9 p.m. on Mondays. All assignments that are listed in the syllabus but will also be posted in Canvas. I would not rely on the Canvas to-do list because we have those long-term assignments and they don't always show up when you need to be working on them. All right, it takes me approximately 1 week to grade your assignments. So if you turn it in Monday night, then it will be graded by the following Monday night. Sounds fair, right? Okay, so let's review the course syllabus and then I'll go back through the rest of Canvas stuff for you. So here's the syllabus. Okay, so this is our section here. This is all online. It's asynchronous. There are no actual course meetings that you have to be at. But I do want to say I will be offering 3, I want to call them extra credit meetings. These are just my open office hours. And I would like to meet you since this is an online class. My office hours are just to say hello. I will meet with each student individually, but you'll be pushed into a waiting room where you'll wait to have your individual meeting with me. My meetings are going to be on Monday nights from 6 to 7 p.m. The dates have not been chosen yet, but I will be sharing those dates with you during the first or second week of the class. They have to be approved by administration first before I can post them. They will be on Zoom, okay? So you need a Zoom account. I do have instructions in Canvas on how to access Zoom. Here's me. Here's my contact information. My office hours, you can always make an appointment to meet with me. All right, here's our important dates for this session. So our class begins on June 1st at noon. You will not be able to access this class in Canvas until that time. June 8th is the last day to add classes. So we only have 1 week to add people. If you're trying to add this class, like you're on the wait list, then I will be adding students starting on Wednesday of the first week of class. I gave people an opportunity to access the class till Wednesday, After that time, if they haven't accessed the class, I drop them. And then I'll add people from my wait list. If you want to be on the wait list and you're not already on the wait list, please email me or text me and let me know you'd like to be added to the wait list. All right, so June 10th is the drop deadline for No W. So that is next Wednesday. So if by next Wednesday you drop the class, it'll be like you never entered the class. They will still take your money. Sorry. All right, so July 3rd is the drop deadline with a W. So the day before 4th of July, if you have not dropped the class by then, you're stuck in this class to the end. If you fail to drop the class in time and you don't finish the class, you will still receive what is called an FW, which is an F on your grade report. So that will count as an F. This class is not a transferable class, so that means that it won't count towards your transfer GPA, but it will count towards your Chafee GPA for graduation. Okay, so you don't want that. You don't want a failing grade because you forgot to drop the class. So mark it on your calendar. July 4th, we have no class technically, but since this is an asynchronous class, it doesn't matter. We still have work to do that week. But because I'm so sweet and we have some time, I actually have made it a very light week on the 4th of July week in case people are wanting to do some fun stuff. We still have work that week though. July 24th is our last day of class. The final exam and all extra credit assignments are due by 11:59 on that date. If you fail to turn it in by that time, of course, your work won't be accepted. Okay, so here is the 3-unit class, Guidance 5. Oh my gosh, let's change that. I need to change this to Guidance 2. All right, so we have textbooks, required materials. So here are the required materials for the class. The only required material that you must purchase by Monday and turn in is a weekly or daily day planner. There is a $6 option available, and it is at Walmart, okay? I do have this in Canvas in the assignment for you, the link, so you can check that out. Here's how to create a Zoom account if you would like to attend those extra credit office hours, but I require that you get a Zoom account because if you need to have an office hour meeting with me for any reason, like you're struggling, it's good if you already have this ready to go. Okay, so here's optional or recommended materials. These are books that will help you with this class. So we have a lot of information presented from both of these books. I'm not requiring that you purchase them because I do have the information posted and you can just do the Canvas assignments and learn the material that way. But if you want to be prepared for the final with the least amount of work and effort, I would recommend buying the books and doing the optional reading as you go through the class. So that way, when you get to the final, it's pretty easy. Otherwise, you're going to need to take notes when you're reading Canvas. So Canvas will be like your textbook and you'll have to read and take notes. I am offering 30 points of extra credit for purchasing both of these books. 15 points for this book and 15 points for this book. The links are here. So if you want to purchase the 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens, you'll go here. Okay. There is a small, tiny baby book that is available. Do not purchase it. Look at the size of the book. Your book should be like 6 by 9 or 5 by 9, not 3 inches by 2 inches. Okay. So I would strongly recommend that you get the paperback book for $12.15. Let's take a look at that. That's this one. Or the audiobook. There it is. There's also a Kindle book. This is the Kindle version. You just download it. It goes right to your Amazon Kindle, which is awesome. So I like the audiobook because then you can just listen to it. Okay, we're cruising back to the syllabus. Okay, the other book is Snap Together Essays, the modular writing method, and you do have to have a Kindle or some type of e-reader for this book because it is an ebook. And it says click on the book cover for purchase link, but in order to access that, you have to download the syllabus. Let me do that. Downloading. Let me go to. I'm like, where do I want to put it? Let's do it here. place that. Okay, so I'm going to go, I'm going to go to grab that. Is okay, so now I'm in like my downloaded copy, so now I can click on this and it will lead me to the website for this. So we have Snap Together Essays, the modular writing method. You're going to purchase here, and it is, you need to have like a Kindle. So I do have the information on how to access that here. So no matter what device you have, it should be here. So install it for desktop on your computer, for Android, for Apple, for PC, for the Kindle app. So, we got lots of options there. So that way you can access the book. And it is an ebook only at this point. Okay, so let's go back to where we were in the syllabus. So we have also, this is how to get a student ID card. If you don't have one, I strongly recommend you grab one. It's saying it's not open to new submissions. What the heck? Okay, I will update that as well because you guys need that link. They change it every semester. I just updated that in the fall. Oh, goodness. Okay, so heading back over here. I will upload this link so by the time you reach it, it will be correct. I'm making a note of that now. So we need to change that. Okay, so here are some important links for summer for 2026. This is for counseling, admissions and records, and student support. So you click on that. You have to be logged into Chafee in order to access this. Okay, it gives you all the technical support, help desk, everything. You can make appointments here or make phone calls to make an appointment. It's very handy. Okay, we have the library. You can click on that. It'll take you to the library. If you're looking for scholarships, click here. If you would like to access the campus bookstore, you do not need to use the bookstore for our books because they are optional. But if you would like to, we do usually have the 7 Habits book there. Faculty advisors, if you'd like to speak with an advisor, are here. Those are faculty who can help you in your discipline. The honors program, if you're looking to gain some clout here at Chafee and also boost your GPA, here is a great way to do that. The Panther Pantry, there's a phone number for that. So if you are hungry, like you don't have enough food to eat, the Panther Pantry is there. If you're homeless, etc., you can get things here. We also have Pride, Unity, Leadership, Sexuality, and Education. You can click on that. It's called Pulse. And we have the Transfer Center here. For those of you, this is very important. If you want to transfer to four-year university, we have this really cool thing called the TAG program that you can access at the Transfer Center. The TAG program requires that you make an appointment with somebody at the Transfer Center and go in and sign an agreement with whatever college you want to attend. Not all colleges are part of our TAG agreement, but a lot of them are. And what you do is you sign this contract to get a certain GPA that they decide. So like different GPAs for different universities. So for example, for UCLA, you need like a 3.7 or above. And you'll sign that agreement. And if you get that GPA, you get automatic admission to that university. It's really worth it to go check that out. Okay, so here's my teaching philosophy. I'm here to help you guys pass the class, become better students and people by giving you the tools that you need to help you make lasting positive changes in your personal life and as students. I'm going to use games, activities, lectures, and personal meetings to teach you how to be a better person. You will get the most out of the class if you access the course regularly, do your reading, participate actively, and turn in your homework by the deadline. This class also requires you to set goals, apply many of the concepts to your life. At the end of the term, you'll be able to tell if you have benefited by the grade you get in this class, your grade in your other classes, and by looking at the state of your personal affairs to see if they've improved. And I will give you the tools, but it's up to you to put them into practice into your life. I'll be here to support you, of course, and give feedback and advise you along the way. So here's the core competencies or things that you will learn. So we have the learning outcomes. Students that engage in this class will learn these things. So you'll be able to apply study skills to other classes. You'll pass this and your other classes with a C or better. You'll successfully complete guidance to with a greater C or better, and you'll be able to access academic resources for success here at Chafee. You will be able to identify your learning style and pursue educational and career goals, and be able to access technology and research to do that. And you will have some idea of your career and academic goals, and you'll be able to engage in more critical thinking strategies. Okay, so this is really important. This is the frequently asked questions page about my class. What books do I need? You need a day planner. There are optional books too. They're on page 2 of the syllabus. Where can I get all the information on how to navigate this class? Okay, so watch this course introduction video from start to finish. Okay, if you don't, you might get a lower grade. What if I can't afford the textbooks? You'll lose points only if you can't purchase a day planner, but you'll earn extra credit points if you purchase the extra credit books. There is a free day planner that's usually available somewhere on campus, but because this is summer, usually those are gone by this point. If they are available, they'll be in admissions and records, counseling, or student government on the Rancho campus, okay? But if you're like, I don't want to go to the campus, this is the online class, no big deal. You could check out Dollar Tree, 99-cent store, Target, Walmart, those places. Whatever planner is cheapest, as long as it's daily or weekly. When is homework due? The following Monday after it appears in the syllabus, unless there's a due date that is different from that next to it in the syllabus, which I'll show you in a minute. Can I turn in late work? No. But I do offer late work only to 2 situations, okay? So if you have a doctor's note that says you've been out for the entire week, okay? Or like it's an emergency doctor's thing that happened at the time that you were supposed to turn in your work, okay? You could submit the work to me via email by the next due date deadline, which would be the following Monday, with the doctor's note, okay? And I'll accept it. If you have a court appearance like jury duty and you have to miss a whole week's worth of class because you are doing jury duty, or you've been incarcerated and you're in jail, I assume you're innocent, of course. So you can show me that documentation and turn in your work via email by the next due date, which would be the following Monday. Okay, when is my work late? So if it's 11:59 in Canvas time and it shuts down on you and you can no longer turn it in via Canvas, the work is late. If you have a Canvas problem, please take a second, text me, let me know you're having a problem, and turn in your assignment via email before the due date and time. If you just tell me I'm having problems with Canvas and I can't turn in my work, but you don't include the assignment, your assignment will still be considered late and you will not get credit. So I accept assignments via email if you're having Canvas issues, but you have to turn in the assignment by the due date, along with the explanation of, hey, I had a problem. I'd also like you to text me and let me know that you had the problem so I can follow up and see if other students are having a problem. Okay, how do I turn in assignments? On Canvas. So each assignment has a place where you upload your work. I have videos on Canvas on how to turn those in. Do not use links to documents in Canvas. They don't work, and you'll receive no credit for them if you turn them in that way. What if I miss an assignment? So I offer several extra credit assignments that can be used to make up some points. It basically is about 20% of the class that is offered an extra credit. Is Canvas used to turn in all assignments? Yes. Okay, Canvas is the place. Can I email homework? Yes, in an emergency. And it does go over what I just said. It has to be mailed before the deadline. Can I make up quizzes and tests? So there are no quizzes in this class, and the only test is a final exam, and it has 2 parts. There's an essay part, and there is a basically multiple choice, fill in the blank, and it's just multiple choice, fill in the blank, or true false questions. And they're in 2 separate places. So there's 2 parts of the test. Okay, what if I'm unable to access the internet? So I suggest that you don't wait until the last minute to do your weekly assignments. And let me check if this California Connects is working, because they do change this link pretty often. Yeah, here we go. So this is $20 per month for a hotspot. And if you struggle with internet, that's a great way to do it. I also recommend, if you just have another place that you can go if your internet does get shut down. Of course, if you turn in your work by Fridays, this will not be an issue because you'll have 2 other days to go figure it out. But if you're at the last minute and your internet goes down, make sure you have a Starbucks or something available that you can go to, a friend's house, something like that. What if Canvas isn't working? So if Canvas is actually down for everybody, I will change the due date for the assignments, okay? But if it's just your internet, I'm not going to change the due date and I'm not going to give you extra time, okay? So just know that going in, that your internet not working is not a valid excuse for turning in late work, because I'm telling you, turn your work in by Friday, get those extra points. If there is a problem, then you have 2 days to fix it. If your internet goes down at the last minute at turn in time, I don't know what to tell you, but I can say that sometimes a good solution can be using your data on your phone, like just transferring the information to your phone or accessing it from your phone. That's one way. Or you can take pictures of your computer assignments, like just take a photo with your phone and then email me those by the due date if you're having an internet issue at the last minute. Okay, can I use artificial intelligence to complete assignments? So you can use it as a study tool, but you're not going to use it to write your assignments for you, okay? And assignments are basically in this class in your own words anyways. They're opinions. So why would you use AI to give an opinion? Okay? You don't need it. But Canvas has a built-in AI detector. So if you're using AI to generate your writing throughout the class, you may receive 0 points on assignments for doing that, because I'm asking you now to not use AI to write your assignments. Okay, you can use Grammarly to check your assignments. Grammarly is a free program that will help you with your assignments by giving you proper college level punctuation, grammar, and spelling. You can embed it directly into Canvas, and there are instructions on how to do that in Canvas. I have a disability. What do I do? So you need to check in with me right away to set up a personal meeting if you have a disability. This can be a phone meeting. It can even be a text meeting. You need to put your accommodations in place with me by contacting me and saying, I would like my accommodations put in place. If you have a contract that I've signed already, it does not mean that your accommodations are in place. You have to specifically contact me and ask me to put your accommodations for this class in place. This class must be listed on your letter from DPS in order for you to receive accommodations. So that means I have to have signed that letter for you to receive the accommodations. Okay? So we can go over your accommodations, but because there's only one test in this class and it's the final, make sure you have that set up before the final exam if you need extra time for exams. Okay, so there's actually 170 points of extra credit that are assignments, but I also offer additional miscellaneous extra credit throughout the class, okay? That's for turning in work early before the due date, okay? So if you turn in by Friday, you'll get those points. I also offer, if you see something wrong and you report it to me and you're the first one to report it, I will give you some extra points. Okay, what is the best way to reach me? Text, okay? You can also reach me via email. That's the best way. Okay, so here's our course schedule. There is a key. We don't have any OC. I need to fix that. 7H is 7 Habits of Highly Successful Teens. Canvas and EC means extra credit. So here's our course schedule. For every week, you're going to see June 1st through 7th. That's this week. Here's all the topics for this week. You're going to review the syllabus and course procedures. You're going to go over chapter 1 from OC, which is in Canvas, paradigms and principles, and habit 1, which is in Canvas, test taking, which is in Canvas, and growth mindset. All these are topics that are reviewed in Canvas. Readings. So you'll review items from week 1 in Canvas as you're reading. There's an optional reading from the 7 Habits book, which is extra credit, and studying your syllabus. You understand how the class works, which we're doing now. The drop deadline for this class with an OW is 6/10, next Wednesday. Assignments. First assignment, purchase and upload proof of purchase of your day planner. Extra credit, purchase optional books and upload those for credit. A discussion, meet and greet, U 2.0, and a discussion, paradigms and principles. All of this stuff is due on Monday by 11:59 p.m. For week 2, we have the same thing, topics, the optional reading and the reading for next week, and the assignments. So it's like that for every week. This is one of the big assignments. The bigger assignments are highlighted in black. So things that are really important, like having the books, the time management packet, and as we scroll down, the campus resource reports, also worth 200 points, are going to be due at other due dates. So the time management packet is due on 6/22. the campus resource reports are due 6/29. Okay, it tells you here the time management packet is due, and here it says the campus resource reports are due. Okay, so the whole thing is pretty much like that, and our final exams are here. So we have a final exam written portion and final exam test portion, 2 things, okay? Here are all the assignments for the class and the breakdown. There are 980 total points in the class. To pass this class, you need at least 686 points. So you can look at this and see how to earn those points. If you'd like at least a B, 784 points is the minimum. If you'd like an A, 882 points are the minimum. I do use plus or minus grades. So if you get a 97% or above, you're going to get an A plus. If you get anywhere between a 93 and a 96%, it'll be an A. And if you get a 90 to 92, you're going to get an A minus. Same thing with B's, same thing with C's. For D's and F's, those are non-passing grades, okay? Our assignments here, we've got, looks like 8 assignments, each worth 20 points. Actually, it looks like there's more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, there are 8. Okay, and then we have discussions. 8 discussions, 40 points each. Campus resource reports worth 200. Time management packet, oh, I lied. It's only 100 points. And the final exam is worth 200 points. So that's a total of 980. Here's the extra credit assignments worth 170 points, which is approximately 20% of the total points in the class. We have purchase your 7 Habits book, purchase your Snap Together Essays book, 30 points there. An extra credit tracking form, which is a time management tool. Extra credit 32-day commitment, 15 points. And there is an essay about the last lecture you can write at the very end of the class for 50 points. And my 3 office hours worth 15 points apiece for 45 points. Okay, those are going to be on Monday nights at 6 to 7 p.m. I haven't chosen the 3 Mondays yet, but they'll likely be in the middle of the term. Okay, I wrote you a lovely poem here. I would love for you to read it about success. And that is the course syllabus. Okay, so we've covered the syllabus. Yes, done, right? So I've covered so far that you need to read the announcements. You need to watch this video to the end. We have Canvas glitches that you need to make sure. No links to assignments. Reviewing the course syllabus. Extra credit. The best way to reach me. Due dates and late work if Canvas goes down. Okay, so I've covered everything. I am going to go back over here to Canvas just so we can take a look at some of the assignments that are due for this week. I want to point out some important things. Here is the first thing, your day planner. So you need a day planner, and here's how to use it. So this explains how to use the day planner, this video. There's also written instructions, which are much more brief. I really recommend watching the video, though. It's a lot more informative. Okay, then we have Grammarly for Canvas. So that is here. So this is a free resource. You can embed this directly into Canvas, and the instructions are here. Here's Grammarly. Here's the instructions on how to embed it into Canvas. When you embed it, it automatically corrects your work as you write in Canvas. It is great. You can also take your assignments and upload them into Canvas and have it check your grammar, spelling, and punctuation. Here is how to get Zoom, okay? Here's our course syllabus. Okay, so here's week 1. I do want to say that the assignment Purchase Your Day Planner is here in the course introduction. This gives the links to the for the books. If you click here, it'll take you to the link for this. Click here, it'll take you to the link for that. Click here, it'll take you to a link for the cheapest day planners, which it looks like is about $8 now. Inflation, I guess. And we have these 2 extra credit books. So here's how to turn in extra credit. So you're going to hold the book up next to your face if you have the actual book, or you can just show me receipts, okay? Either way. And then you're going to turn it in. So let me show you. I can't really show you how to turn it in. You're going to have to follow the assignment, the information in the assignment, but there's instructions. There is a video instruction of this. Okay, so next thing. We have our assignment list for week 1, which I've gone over. I'm going to go through this module for you to show you how to go through it. So I'm glad you're here. Can't wait to get to know you. we have a fun video that you need to watch. You can just click on it and watch it. This is a PowerPoint on college customs for all your college classes, just things you need to know about college. These are some videos on growth mindset. Please watch my brief lecture. You can open it here in YouTube.
Everybody, I hope you're...
Okay, it's only 13 minutes, not long. If you want to turn on closed captioning for any video, you click here on the CC. If you want to change the language, you can go to settings and go to subtitles, and you should be able to change it to whatever language you need. Let's see. We have auto translate here for other languages. Cool, right? Also, if you'd rather read, you can actually add the transcript. So you'll go down here to show transcript. Click on that. The transcript will be here. You can actually just copy and paste this whole thing. So you can highlight it, just and copy and paste it into a document and have it read it to you. Cool, right? This also shows you the timestamps where different things are, so you could go there. It'll take the video to that point. Cool, right? So that's awesome. We also have these other two videos about growth mindset. It's very important you watch those, especially this one, but this will help you with the concepts you need to know for the final exam. The final exam is comprehensive, meaning or cumulative. It covers everything. This is the discussion, meet and greet. So you can check out the reference videos here. These are the videos that I used to create this assignment. And you're going to watch this video. It is kind of long, but this is literally your assignment for the week. So you can watch it on YouTube. You can do the transcript just like you did with the other. This is a 36-minute video that goes over the concept of what U 2.0 is and then how to complete the assignment. Okay, so you're going to follow the instructions. Your assignment is going to look like this. You are required to do each of the steps here and turn it in Canvas. This is a lecture and discussion, so you do need to watch all these videos. This lecture is going to take you about an hour, maybe 45 minutes to get through this and the assignment, okay? So remember I said it's going to take you about 6 hours a week. This is one of those hours, so give yourself a nice hour to do this. So you need to know the difference between principles and how they differ from values, okay? So this is a video on principles and values. You're going to watch it. Okay, then you're going to watch this video on the difference between paradigms and principles. And then you're going to start my lecture. So it says first start watching the lecture, then watch the other videos as prompted. So you're going to watch this. I recommend opening it in YouTube and watching it there. And then when I prompt you, you'll go back and watch these other videos when I prompt you. So you don't want to watch these first because they won't make sense unless you are in the lecture and kind of going with it. So you're going to watch these videos when I prompt you. Then you're going to follow these directions and copy and paste these answers into the text box and answer them. You will lose points if you do not follow the direction of copying and pasting the questions and then answering them. For discussions, you're always going to have to go back and respond to other students. So make sure you do that. There's always a length requirement for all of those responses to other students. Okay. Oh, let me show you also how to check rubrics. Okay. So in assignments, either the rubric's going to be down here at the bottom, but for discussions, it's up here. So you can go to show rubric. You can use the rubric to show you how you will earn points. So it says here, question 1 is answered with at least 3 complete sentences. So the question needs to be answered by your answer, and the answer needs to be 3 sentences. If it's 2 sentences, you're going to lose points. If it's 1 sentence, you're going to lose more points. Same thing, question 2 is answered. I use this rubric to grade. So this is the exact way you're going to be graded. Question 3 is answered with a list of 5 principles. They must be principles. Question 4 is answered with at least 3 complete sentences, and the student must respond to at least 2 other students' posts. Responses must have good grammar, spelling, and punctuation. Got it? So you are also going to get these cool little badge points. So you get points towards badges. Those badges will be displayed in Canvas across your courses or any courses that offer those badges. And you can use those for your resume. Okay. So you want to check your rubric for every assignment before you turn it in to make sure that you've done everything properly, okay? That's a great way to make sure you get the points. And I use those rubrics. Okay, so this is a lecture on creating success in college and life from this book, which is not, you don't have to purchase it. What you need to know is here. So it just goes through some ways to understand what's required of you in college and the culture of college, okay? Some test taking tips. So the way that you're going to go through this is you're going to read the directions. I would read everything. And one thing that you can do that's kind of helpful is you can, most computers have a speech to text or text to speech option, so you can make it speak to you.
Never leave a test question blank. Always attempt to answer even the ones you don't know. You might just earn some of the points if you try.
Okay. If you're not really into reading, you could do that. So each computer or computer system has its own way to access speech to text, but you can Google that or use chatbot GPT to answer that question for yourself. Okay, so we have a audio lecture here. So you're going to click on this. You're going to listen to this lecture. Oh, actually, this is not the listening lecture. This is just a quick web page. Easy, just read that. Okay, overcoming test anxiety. Watch this video.
Hi, I'm Thomas Frank, and this is Crash Course.
Okay, how to ace tests.
Hey guys, in this
and how to overcome procrastination. Okay, so that is, I believe, the end of this module. So I expect you to do all that stuff. Because we've already gone through the course introduction, you really don't need to access anything here other than reading this information about the day planner or watching the video, adding Grammarly, and doing purchase your day planner. You also want to download a copy of the syllabus. For week 1, you're going to go through everything, read everything, watch all the videos, and complete the assignments for this week. So you should have everything you need to know. Make sure you're looking at the course announcements. So here's where I'm going to give you the extra credit. So what you're going to do, listen very carefully. So this video is located in Canvas. I showed you how to access this Canvas or this video in YouTube. It was in the welcome letter I sent you in the email, or you accessed it from the home page here. And if you do, you're going to click on YouTube at the bottom. In Canvas, or I'm sorry, not in Canvas, in YouTube, you're going to go to the comment section. So here, and you're going to add a comment. So I can't add a comment on my own video, so maybe I should try to go to a different video. Well, I'm not going to do that. So basically, you're going to go here to add a comment. You're going to enter your comment. You're going to make sure the comment includes your first and last name. This is optional, but I will give everybody that does that on the course introduction video. So this video that you're watching right now, you're going to go to YouTube. You're going to leave me a comment on whether this video was helpful for you or not. If it was helpful, please tell me why it was helpful. If it was not helpful, please tell me why it was not helpful. So that will give me feedback and it will also give me some YouTube clout. Thank you. And you'll get 10 points of extra credit. I will apply those 10 points before next Monday at 9 o'clock p.m. when I do my grading, okay? So please take a second and do that. I also want to thank you for adding this class. I'm really looking forward to working with you and getting to know you better over the course of this term. I hope you've watched this video in its entirety, because if you have, that means that you're ready for this class. If you actually want to do well in the class, I highly suggest that you come to my extra credit office hours when they're offered. I will be posting that information in announcements, which you will be checking because I've told you to check. All right, thank you so much for your time and attention, and have a wonderful rest of the day. And I hope this course goes really well for everybody. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful, wonderful semester, or I guess course term, since it's only 8 weeks. Bye.